Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Egan, of course, Brandon Wenzel, come back at you. Another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks. Sampler video series videos I've been doing for a little while now. Go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm gonna talk about the stuff. I'm gonna let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not gonna lie. This is a tie-in for a show that I haven't even watched in a few years. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's a super simple format. I'm going to go over there and try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering around about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm in my back room today, which means we get Peter Can Thunderbolt poster. Peter Can Thunderbolt poster. Whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I am doing something else. What is it? I'm wearing a super cool shirt. Folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing for you today, though? Happens to be my Tony Jaa shirt. Yeah. Most of my super cool shirts are like band related because, I like music a lot and stuff. But I'm actually a really big fan of martial arts films. And Tony Jaa was really the guy who kind of got me back into martial arts films back in the early 2000s. I'd kind of fallen out of love with him for a while because there was sort of this whole period after Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon where a lot of the films were very artsy and a lot of wire work stuff. And although I'm being older, I have a much greater appreciation for that now and that type of martial arts cinema. At the time, I just was not into it. I wanted let's kick ass, let's do cool things. And Tony Jaa really came in and was like, I don't need wires. I'm this super badass guy who can do crazy shit. And I just fell in love with his stuff, and he's been my favorite martial actor ever since. If you ever want to yammer on about that stuff, by the way, please feel free to hit me up in the comments. We can go over there and chat a little bit about it. But anyway, going from one actor to, again, a series with actors in it, segue. What am I trying for you today, folks? We're doing a twofer. I thought about doing them one at a time, but I figured, fuck it, we'll just get in both. And it happens to be tying in with a particularly big show called Boom! Well, it doesn't have that. Stranger Things. This is specifically the Netflix Stranger Things tie-in with Gatorade. This is their citrus cooler flavor, 1987 limited edition. It has this guy on the back, who I'm sure is a very talented individual, but as I stated, I haven't watched Stranger Things in quite a while. I think about season 3 was where I kind of fell off. Nothing against it or anything. It was a solid series. I was watching it with friends, and then we all kind of dispersed to some extent, so... and then, because you can't have the normal one without, boom, the upside down version. So yeah, we've got the citrus cooler and then the upside down citrus cooler. All right, it's all a thing. This one doesn't have anybody on it. So, okay, let's get a thing for the thing here. And we'll do it like this. Something like this. Let's go. Let's try them out. We'll do the normal version first. Try the citrus cooler. Okay. That mostly tastes like lemon lime Gatorade, which isn't a bad thing for me. Lemon lime Gatorade is actually probably my favorite flavor of Gatorade. Um, It's definitely a little bit different though. You don't have as defined a lemon and lime sort of aspect to it, whereas with the normal stuff, there is definitely a lemon lime sort of vibe. This is, as the name states, it's more directly citrusy, but again in a similar way to what you get from the lemon lime Gatorade. It's nice for what it is. I like the citrusy hit that it gives it. It's got a little acidity to it, so it's got a little punch. I like that. Uh, but I don't know. There's not a lot of personality to it. It's not a bad drink or anything, but it really is kind of one note, or maybe 1.5, because again, You have this sort of citrusy, kind of sweet sports drink flavor. And then again, you do get a little bit of a hit at the end. So I guess it has a little dimension to it. But yeah, there's just not really much to grab onto. It's fine, but I'll be honest with you. If I didn't know better, because obviously it's right here and in my hand, I wouldn't be entirely surprised if someone went over there and gave this to me and told me that it was a more generic brand of sports drink. Because, like, typically, I mean, there's no denying Gatorade is the top dog when it comes to sports drinks. And, typically I like to hold them to a somewhat higher standard than, your Powerades or, vitamin waters or what have you. Uh, Maybe it's because, this is a retro edition kind of deal or what have you, or maybe it just is what it is. Yeah, it's just a very okay thing. All it really does, though, for me, is it makes me want lemon lime Gatorade. But again, it's not terrible. It's just a little bit lacking. And again, I know that, Gatorade can do better than this, but it's not bad. Obviously, it's got the Stranger Things tie-in, so whatever. Let's try the upside down version. Everybody knows that the upside down is cooler anyway, so maybe this will be more impressive. Less of a scent. What the fuck is that? Maybe kind of like a citrusy berry kind of thing? There's definitely still some tanginess to it, which I like. Uh, okay, it's definitely not the same drink. Part of me was like, how similar is this? So the upside down version definitely tastes a little bit heavier. The citrus version, as of the namesake and what have you, it's a little bit brighter. I think that citrusy is a little bit more kind of refreshing. Whereas with the upside down version, it almost drinks thicker in a way. And I'm not saying it does exactly, but like it doesn't, it's the upside down, right? It's the dark version of things. It just doesn't have like that same vibrancy that the citrus one does. It's a little bit more weighed down by its own flavors, but that also gives you a little bit more to grab hold of. I feel like it has a little bit more personality to it. Not by leaps and bounds. Like, I still wouldn't consider this to be an especially amazing flavor of Gatorade, but there's some decent flavor here. And yeah, I'm going to say it's like, again, sort of maybe like a berry citrus kind of thing or something like that. There's no like super defined flavor to whatever like the quote unquote berry flavor is. I couldn't tell you like, oh, it's blueberry or whatever, but I do think that it's either a concoction of of just various fruit flavors, artificial fruit flavors, or again, it's just like a general sort of berry flavor that they like to use for these things. That's what I'm going with. Okay, well, three questions need to be asked. Would I get either of the four questions? Would I get either of these again? Would I recommend any of them? Which one do I prefer? Will this make me go back and watch Stranger Things again? Um, Maybe kinda the upside down version, and probably not, but maybe eventually. I think for me personally, I do prefer the upside down version just a little bit. Neither of them, again, I find to be overly impressive flavors from Gatorade, but like they're both decent. I don't have any problem with either of them. the thing is, for me, I have already flavors that I'm partial to when it comes to Gatorade. So I would probably stick more to those. Like, I would go over there instead of getting the citrus cooler, I would just get the lemon lime flavor. For this, instead of, getting the upside down version, I'd probably just go over there and get like the Dark Thunder or whatever the fuck it is, or Midnight Thunder, or, that one. Um, but again, neither of them are bad. I just, especially what with them being limited edition things, I always see that as being a potential opportunity for a company to go over there and put out something really unique and special that they can sort of, like properly throw some stuff at. Because at the end of the day, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Or conversely, it's something where companies will go over there and kind of just put out what the fuck ever because they know it's going to be gone. So it doesn't really matter if, the public isn't all that impressed with it. I kind of feel like this is more on that end of things. Like, neither of these are bad flavors, but I do kind of feel like they're both sort of unimpressive. And again, I think Gatorade can do better. But again, I would get this one over the other one. And yeah, it's not bad, but yeah. And if I'm recommending it, again, they're not bad. They're a limited time thing, but I mean, ultimately, the only thing that really makes them special in any way is the marketing for Stranger Things, which, to be fair, maybe you're a big fan of the show. I mean, again, this isn't going to make me go out and watch Stranger Things again. I might eventually get around to it again, because again, it wasn't bad. Like, very talented cast and everything. I enjoyed the premise. But I personally find these to be a little bit meh, and I kind of, but maybe you'll enjoy them more than I will. And again, I don't see them as being bad products, just maybe being a little less impressive than I was hoping. So, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year. Folks, go over there, have yourselves a truly Stranger Things-tastic rest of your life. Because again, I know a lot of people really like that show, and again, like all the cast members, and it's been cool, because you do see them in other stuff, watching them get older, and they've become very accomplished. So, final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity in the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what do you do if you can't do it all the time? I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. When we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, let me know. Is Stranger Things worth getting back into? Because again, it wasn't like I dropped off because like the show suddenly became terrible or anything. It was just a thing where like me and a couple of my friends, we were watching it as it was coming out. And, eventually, we got older and, the show's been going for a while. We still hang out. We're still really good friends, but it's like, we don't have the same amount of time to devote to that stuff that we did. So, but like I said, maybe at some point I'll sit down and make it a thing. Anyway,